Good evening, everyone. On behalf of CSI CRC, it is my distinct pleasure to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you for this enlightening session. It's a great honor and special privilege to introduce our speaker for today's My Story event. Today we have Mr. Avinash Gupta with us, and we are in for an exciting time as we explore the world of technology and engineering with a true innovator. Our speaker's journey is truly remarkable. Mr. Gupta began his career as a trainee at Posh India and emphasizes his commitment to innovations and precision. Today, Sir is also co-founder of PowerZest, a company dedicated of making renewable energy more accessible through innovative technology. In addition to PowerZest, our speaker leads Prime Shades, specializing in colors and coating, showcasing their versatility and commitment to excellence. Their entrepreneurial journey began during their engineering degree when they won awards at the Hackathon Hardware in 2018. Notably, PowerZest has received support from esteemed institutions like IIT Roorkee and Engineers India Limited, highlighting the significance of their work.
Yeah, sir, you can start with your session. Sir, you're on mute.
Yeah, hi. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. Hi. Good evening, everyone. I think admin had turned off this speaker for everyone, so that's the reason I was not able to come into the presentation. However, so good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening. Good evening.
Good
Hi.
evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Good
So
evening,
I,
sir.
so I actually I'm like currently like I'm quite curious to see the huge number of participants. So actually won't mind if you can just like people who can just turn on their video and stay live with us, because let's not make this session boring. At the end of session, I should be in a good position. At least 5 or 10 of you amongst 91 or 92 who is motivated for my journey to pursue this startup journey. So if I don't mind if you are having a breakfast, or if you are at home, just turn on your video if possible, and let's make this session interesting. All right, so I'll just start.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I hope you all can see my screen.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, great. So let us just start. Okay. So as thank you so much for my brief introduction. So just I'll just give you a few just about myself. So currently, as rightly said, I am a co-founder of the company known as PowerGest, and apart from this, I also handle a company which is into coating and powder solution known as Prime Shades. Uh, Previously, I worked with Porsche. Somehow, Porsche division of Volkswagen India, premium sports car brand, and I left that company to start this venture and pursue this journey of startup. So from there, my journey started actually. So the first question when we think like what is startup? So what does a mind come to like what questions or what thing come to a mind? I just want to know, like let us do one thing, like let's make the session interacting. So if I ask something, you'll participate in that thing, so that it is two-way, give and take. All right. So let's say when I say a term startup, so what things come to your mind? I just want to know that. Can anyone just tell me?
Creating a business with a new idea.
Oh, that is great, superb. Anyone with something different opinion? All right, I think we had only one opinion. All right, so in my terms, this is how I compose from the bustling hall of knowledge at the college to the vibrant street of the market. A journey of exploration and discovery awaits. So if you'll ask me what is startup, it's a journey of heart and soul. So you'll have to put your whole heart and soul, and then only you can see the things happening at that pace. So it's a journey of heart and soul, which I believe. So if I jump to next slide. Okay, so as someone said, right, it is something which is a journey of heart and soul. And also someone said that it begins all from idea, right? Startup, the initial phase starts with idea. So we all know, right, for any journey or for any startup to begin with, it has to be idea, right? If I say like 93 of us are currently attending this meeting, and if we explore currently, we would have a 93 sets of idea. And apart from this 93 sets of idea, at least 5 or to 10 ideas would be such that we can execute that thing. So let me take one more example. Let's say during COVID, uh, we all know, right? Zepto and all those things become famous, right? So if I'll ask you, almost 10 to 20 amongst us would tell that, sir, ये idea हमारे दिमाग में तो था. The thing is कि the question is, did we execute it or did we thought about it, how to go ahead with that thing? That is more important. So everyone has an idea, but how to execute it, that is the most important thing. So so everyone has an idea, but how to execute it, that is most important. So this is the next slide, which shows, let's say if you have an idea, your idea is just a mere piece of section which as compared to the entire work which you needed to do to make that idea into reality. So so when I let me just switch to the next slide. When I put this thing in my social media site, so do you want to know like what responses which I had got from this thing? So let me just take you through the next slide. The idea is just is the slice I asked from my friend's pizza for testing. So this is the response which I had got from the people. So it is not about the idea. It is most important. It is about your passion, and it is about the people who are around you that will matters the most. So coming to this point, even I started my journey somewhere with the same passion and somewhere with the same people who had some idea to take it ahead. So I formed this company in 2019, the end of 2019, the company known as PowerGest. And after that, we got incubated in 2020. And from there, a journey started. So from 2022 to 23, we were completely into a product development phase. And in 2023, and I'm planning to launch my product currently in the market. So PowerGest has many products. Currently, we have 3 to 4 products, which I'll cover in the course of presentation. So let me just tell you in a nutshell. So in a nutshell, we are a clean tech company with a vision and the mission to make the benefits of renewable energy accessible to all through the means of innovative technology and pioneering solution. So that's our main vision. So like anything, when it starts with idea, the first thing is we have to identify a problem, right? So when you identify a problem, the next part is like you list down the problems and then accordingly work upon them. So that's how our journey even started. So firstly, what we did was even we identified the problems in this segment. So for us, the problem was something related to renewable sector, something related to clean technology. So what we understood that currently the wind distribution in India does not support the available technology. So if you'll see currently, the wind turbines which are in the market, those wind turbines are designed to work under higher wind velocities. But if you see, many wind turbines currently cannot work under lower wind speeds. So that's where our innovation, and we started thinking about the problem. Now, the second challenges that currently market has is implementation cost. So currently, the renewable projects, if you go to take any renewable projects, it has, you will have to spend a lot of cost in that thing. So we are trying to make this thing, the renewable projects, a cost effective projects. Also, there is no one stop solution. So let's say if you want to install a solar panel, you will have to approach multiple vendors for multiple things. Solar, you'll have to take solar panels from someone else, from a battery from someone else, and all those things. So it becomes very difficult to actually get a one stop solution. So that's what a USP. We are providing a one stop solution, as well as we are providing a complete hybrid plug and play solution. So that's how that is few of the problem, and that's what we are trying to solve. So let me jump to a next slide, which is a solution. So what we actually propose, what we are actually proposing in a market. So we what we have done is we have designed a new type of wind turbine. A design is inspired from the shape of umbrella. I'll just take you in the next slide. We'll cover that also. The design is inspired from the shape of umbrella, and because of its unique shape, it can currently work under lowest of wind condition. So also, like the major challenges with the manufacturing industry is the huge amount of cost that you will have to incur while doing or while manufacturing such product. So we are eliminating that cost by making a blade through a normal die casting, which is very easy process. So also a device is equipped with plug and play system, which makes very easy for or user friendly for any people to set up the system at the backyard of their house also. So that was a solution. Now the next question is, so let's say we have identified a problem, we have identified a solution. Now, when you will take this ahead, now when you will place this in front of people, people will ask your journey, like what exactly your journey is. So even like every sets of idea, it starts with something. It is at some point of time, it is at somewhere, and it goes at something else. So even to pitch this idea in front of market, what we did was we even made a story. So let me just take you through that also. So this was actually a story. I hope you all can see my screen. So this is how we actually pitch this idea in front of market. So somewhere a team wonder if there is a way to harness the wind at lower wind velocities, and that's where we inspired, or we got inspired from the shape of umbrella. So imagine you holding an umbrella in rainy season, and suddenly when the wind blows in opposite direction, there is a huge amount of drag force, right? So we thought that can we use this drag force to convert energy output of it. So that's where we got into a board and made few designs. So this is an initial model that we did through CAD. Now, this was the few computer models that we made. Now, unsure of the performance, what we did was we actually tested a few of our setups. So this is the current available turbine which is in the market. So when draft of wind hits the blade starts to rotate. Now, when draft hits, you can see the voltage. The voltage over here was 7, right? And the RPM is comparatively lower. Now, under same sets of condition, what we are doing is we are replacing those blades, which is the traditional aerofoil blades, by a unique shaped dish. So this is a 3 conical shaped dish. Now, again, under senses of condition, when draft hits the blades, you can note down the RPM. The RPM is comparatively higher, and the voltage that we are getting over here is 16 and 17, which is almost twice as compared to the traditional one. Now, that model still, it feels like a toy model, right? Initial testing toy model. Now, what we did, again, to test up or to actually set up a thing, like how actually it will perform in a market, we build a complete unit. So this is the pilot, which was set up at Marshall on Aksa Beach. It was 21 feet tall, with a cutting wind speed of around 2.5 meter per second. It was, and the best part was it was able to perform on the wind speed of 75 kilometer per hour, which is one of the greatest achievement which we had. And it is powering up the entire area at night currently. Also, it is equipped with the smart monitoring system and the battery and inverter technology. It's a hybrid system, wind and solar both. So Marshall on Aksa Beach, they were our first customer, wherein we installed this pilot and set up this thing. Let me again just take you through a presentation. So that was actually a story. I hope I'm not making it. Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great. So let us jump to the next slide. So if we'll talk about impact, so let's say one turbine can actually power around six LEDs, two fan, one television, one refrigeration, and one water pump. Approximate time has been given. So one turbine actually costs around 1,30,000 is the manufacturing cost, and the selling cost is around 1,80,000. It can power up to eight rural household and 25% of urban household needs. Uh, and Since it is a hybrid, it has 24-hour power production capacity. So let's say if the wind is not active, the sun would be active, and if the sun is not active, the wind is active. Uh, so if we'll talk about the market, we have did a market analysis for this thing. So total available market is around 287 billion. However, being a small company, being a startup, the serviceable obtainable market is around 60 million for us. So that's our initial target market that we are planning. We have a lot of competitive advantages, as in we have filed a patent for this product. The examination has been done, and we are waiting for the final approval from the office. As well as we have a strategic partner for this thing. Like currently, we have a good number of people who are working with us from this segment. We also have a manufacturing partner who is from Mumbai only, who is supporting us in this journey. If you talk about the business model, we have like two sets of business model. First is B2G and B2B, and also the other set is B2C. So I'm targeting few of the smart city projects for this wind turbine, as well as B2C. Few of the customers has been targeted. So those are the areas where actually we're planning to get some customers on board. So if we'll talk about team, I am a co-founder, and along with me, Raj is also co-founder of the company. Raj is currently in USA. Mufaddal is team lead, along with us. Dr. Gaurav Singh, he is from IIT Roorkee, PhD research scholar, and he is handling the CFD simulations. Sahil is into electronics. Aniket is a bit into design, and he is handling the design part. Rohil is from Aachen, Germany, and he is handling the measure of electronics part. Also, we have industrial mentors like Mr. Sumantra Bose, and he has a wide areas of experience in the wind turbine sector, so he is helping us out. We have been currently like we have been incubated by Tides Business Incubator IIT Roorkee, and for the manufacturing support, we have been backed by Shivam Enterprises, Mumbai. So this is our entire structure, the entire team flow. So we have actually divided our team into a few sections. That is engineering, R&D, and administrative. So that's how we run the different people currently who are working with us. So why did we actually choose this idea? Why are we actually working in the renewable sector? As we all know, with the current crisis in India of the coal, the renewable in the coming years, the renewable will grow, and that's where we will play a role to install this wind turbines, or maybe to take up the solar project and install at specific locations. So that's what we think. Renewable has a great scope in the coming years. So that's the reason we are currently working in a renewable sector. So these are some of the awards or laurels which we have been like appreciated by PM Modi. Also last month we were in Delhi to meet him. Also we met with the governor of Roorkee, which is Dehradun. Uh, we have also represented a project in the with the director of AICT and the chairperson of AICT. If we'll talk about our achievements, the major achievements started with the Smart India Hackathon, which is from the college, and then we were awarded as a winner of the Smart India Hackathon in the hardware edition, and then from there the journey started. Then actually we pitched this idea in front of the government, and we were selected as a top three startup by DST, which is Department of Science and Technology, and they funded us further to take this idea ahead. After that, we got incubated at Tides IIT Roorkee, and got supported by METI, which is Ministry of Electronic and Telecommunication. After that, few years back, we got support from Engineers India Limited as well for with the state funding for this project. So if you talk about a company, like what exactly PowerJust has, or which product PowerJust is planning to launch. So these all products currently, like we are planning to launch. The first product is solar power bank, which is completely powered by solar, as well as you can charge using a normal AC mains. The second product which we have talked about is wind and solar hybrid system. It starts with 1 kilowatt and goes up to a capacity of 10 kilowatt capacity. Pocket watt is some product which we have already launched in a market, and we are in a client feedback loop cycle. So that's a current stage about pocket watt. And if we'll talk about the other product which we have made for Google through our vendors is the solar powered talk box, and the other is solar QR hanger. So this all product we have already did few samples for the Google, and we have already sent them, waiting for the orders from their end. So this was all about the idea. So let's jump to a next part. Like, let's say if you have an idea, if you start working on that thing, like how to take the idea ahead, which of course might be a question of many of us. Let's say, sir, I have an idea. Like we all have many ideas. So let's say, sir, I have idea, but maybe how to fund that idea, that's the biggest challenge, or how to take up that idea ahead, that's the biggest challenge. So here is the thing which I have listed, and how I have taken this journey ahead. I'll just take you through that also. So I have just listed down like what we have did till now with the power gist, and how I am working, but how I have taken that journey ahead, and what difficulty I have faced till now. That is most important thing which I'll discuss about that. So when I started this journey, one thing which I knew, that I am running a hardware company, and running a hardware company is just like taking a soul out of yourself. So it is very tough. As in, you need like innovation in everything. You need innovation in your finance. You need innovation. You need a good amount of people with you. You need a very good amount of support in terms of manufacturing. Then only things becomes easy. But the thing gets stuck if you don't have fund, and that's the entire problem. And that's where the entire problem starts. So one thing which I know, if I approach any private investor with this idea, people will not help me initially. So what I did initially to take up this journey ahead is simply approach the incubators. So incubators like IITs have many incubators. You all might know Shine Incubator. Even your college would have some incubation facility. So for this idea, I actually approached Tides Business Incubator. So they had one program which is called as TAP, Tides Acceleration Program. So they actually trained me for the entire 3 months, and after 3 months, they had a pitching session. So over there, when I pitched, we got selected as a top three startup by Tides IIT Roorkee, and from there the journey started. Because initial funding was like initially I got a grant of around 2 lakh, and from that funding we initially built the entire concept. And again, when we built the entire concept, the next round of funding was there, which was Nidhi EIR. So I applied for that. I even secured that also. With the next amount of funding, I actually built a prototype and showed them the entire vision of the company. Like, this is what we are planning. This is how we are planning to cater the segments. And with those vision, I was actually able to get the support of the new organization, which was EIL, Engineers India Limited. So they actually seed funded us with certain amount, which was good to go or carry our initial production, or carry some few pilots in the market. So that's how I took this entire decision. Currently, we are in a stage that we are approaching few of the private investors to help us, or to back us for the funding, and then probably the few like investment round will start. So maybe even the question that you would have as a as an individual, like, sir, I have one idea, but when it comes to idea, like how to fund that idea, that is a major chunk of question which you would have, right? So maybe the first thing that you can look up on is the innovation contest which is run by the various technical institutes, because this thing will help you a lot. Because initially, like, even we also participate in a lot of technical competitions which was run by the organization, schools and colleges, and we used to like simply get some fund, get some amount while winning those competition, preserve this amount and utilize it wisely. So that is the other thing. The one of the major areas where probably if you are working in the medical segments, BIREC is one of the big grants which you can look for. So let's say if you have some medical ideas, or any renewable, or any ideas which is related to medical or microbiology, you can approach a BIREC, because like every year there are a lot of form, and they support they simply give you a grant up to 50 lakh rupees. So that's a big help which you get initially to carry your journey ahead. Apart from this, we also have a DRDO challenge which help you with a basic amount of 10 lakh to carry your journey ahead. Social Alpha is run by Tata Trust, and they are one of the like very good organizations to be get funded or to be get supported initially. Startup India seed funds schemes is also there under Startup India program. So you can actually when you start your company, so you can apply to Startup India schemes and get initial fundings to carry out your journey. So that's all the initial, that's how you can carry your journey initially. So I think yeah, that's all from my end with the slides. Now I would actually keep myself open for the question answer sessions from your, because that's where we actually that's where actually I will actually understand like what exactly you're looking from me, and I'll able to contribute. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Guys, if you have any questions related to startup, any questions related to Sir's own business, you can ask him, or you can post that in the chat box. Sir will
Yes,
answer your
sure. Yeah.
question.
So maybe can I know total like 99 apart like amongst the participant 99, like how many of you have actually started this journey of startup? Anyone? Oh, that's great. I think Aditya. Okay, Aditya. So can you just like turn on your voice and could you just come in? What exactly are you doing?
Yeah, Aditya, you can speak up.
Yeah, Aditya. Okay, so I think till the time Aditya come in, let's jump to questions which we are getting over here. So there is a question from product Prakash, which and he asks like, how did you decide the price of the product? Okay, Prakash, this is very interesting question. So like initially, we how we decided actually our price of product is so when the initial pilot was made, we had a BOQ, we had a BOM with us, which is a bill of material. So what amount of material we are using, how what machining process is happening, and all those things is ready with us initially. So whatever was the initial materials, whatever process we followed, the amount of charges we put in to travel from one place to another to build that material, as well as keeping in mind the amount of charges that we will incur to market this product, and accordingly we decided the pricing of the product, keeping the 40% of margin with our product. So that was the initial phase that we planned. So 40% in case of hardware, like keeping around 30 to 40% of margin is very necessary to carry your business ahead, or else somewhere you will you will face a financial crunch in your journey, because this journey is like each and every day you would have something new in front of you. So 40% of margin, that's the initial that we plan. However, to push our product currently in the market, what we are doing is we are just selling it at just 20 to 50%, 15% of margin, so that initially like we could get some customer with us on board, and then accordingly when the customers are like we get some feedback from them, we can increase the overall pricing of the product, and then again with certain improvement in the capacity and tech space, we can go up the pricing, we can take the pricing up. So that's the initial thing which we did. So I hope I have answered your question,
Yes.
Prakash. Yeah. So again, next question is like, sir, what as per you is effective first step for launching the product, marketing it? Uh, the first step which I believe uh, before launching any product is first like you need to actually analyze the product. So let's say let me just take an example. So currently like if you know, Byju's is suffering a financial crunch, or maybe a lot of allegations is happening against Byju's. COVID was a time when they actually grew, like they had a very good product, but it was actually pitched in a bad manner, right? It was actually pitched ऐसे parents को भी pitch किया गया था जहाँ पे जिनको जरूरत नहीं था, or maybe they had a quite like violent marketing strategies which they did. So that's the reason over there, the initially they did good, and then accordingly currently they are suffering. So you should not be so bad in or so violent while doing while pitching this product in the market. You'll have to be slow down and then accordingly pitch those product. That is one part. The next part is, if you have some product, you first get to know, or first identify those product yourself as a team or as a company, that will if this product go in a market, what all difficulties I would have. List down all those difficulties, because once it is launched in the market, you would have done a lot of testings at your office, but market needs something else. Market may, once you'll give those product to customers, customers के हाथ से वो product गिर जाता है, or else they don't handle the way you handle. So accordingly you have to analyze all those things, and then accordingly get confident at yourself that yes, this product can actually impact some life, or maybe pitched in a good manner. Then accordingly you can pitch that thing in a market. So more than a marketing, first being confident at your level, or at your company level, that is the most important thing, which I believe would be beneficial for the long run. So that was the answer for your question. Next question which we have is how to build a team for your startup, and what qualities do you look for a team member. So that's very interesting question, because startup is something which is teamwork make a dream work. So that's how the entire journey is. So let's say if you have a good number of people or a good amount of team, then the things become very easy. Or else to manage the things alone, it is very difficult, very difficult. In my case, what happened that Raj is my co-founder, and we two, we were from the same classmate, we were from the same batch. So we found this company because we had a vision to take this company ahead. So currently, like we two are along with us. There are many people have joined us because somehow we have made them believe in our vision. And whenever you are founding a team, so always see people who are more curious to bring change, or people who are like who can match your vision level. They will stay with you for a longer time, because over the years what will happen, जब आप ये journey carry करोगे, so you will see one thing, कि कि कभी डाउनफॉल होगा. Someday you will feel कि भाई कर क्या रहे हैं हम यार, what we are doing. Someday will feel that simply let's close this thing and let's again join to a 9 to 5 wala job. All those things will happen, right? Many times you will suffer a financial crunch. Many times you will have to go through a lot of pressures, lot of questions on you. So over there, having a good team is very important. And if you have got someone who has been supporting, or a team who has been supporting throughout a journey, that's actually a blessing. So identify a good amount of people, or maybe from the friends who actually has a similar vision, or who actually believes in building something, who actually can struggles a lot, and can work day in and day out, day in and day night. Because startup में होता क्या है ना कि when you start working, टाइम का देयर इज नो रियलाइजेशन. यू एक्चुअली वर्क फॉर योरसेल्फ. So you cannot say कि मैं 9 to 5 वाला job कर रहा हूँ, so I will leave at this point of time. No, you will have to work unless until the work is done. It has to be day in and day out, day night. So accordingly, choose a good people who are actually who actually have the same vision. So that's how. But most importantly, identify them. Maybe from your friends, maybe from the other class, maybe from the entire college. Identify the people who have actually got that passion or hunger to do something, to bring some change, and then accordingly you can make that team up with them. So that was the one thing. Also, while making the team, make one thing sure that uh, don't taking the people who have a very short term planning with you. Because a lot of times what happened, like people when like they work for a year and then again they go out to do something else. So that's not how the team will, or that's not how the company will grow. uh, Hire people who have a long term vision to stay with you or to struggle with you, and that's how you can make a good team. So in my case also, I did something similar. So maybe we there were 4 people currently who got we team up together. So apart from 4 people, like 2 people already got out. So currently there are 2 people, like two of our co-founding members are there. So we need to actually identify and restrict ourselves, and accordingly, when you make a team also, make a founders agreement. So what is founders agreement? We actually in that founders agreement you can actually mention that whenever company goes into a financial phase, uh, you can further bifurcate this equity in the form of sweat equity. Sweat equity is something like जिसने जितना मेहनत किया उतना ले जाएगा future में. So that is one thing which you can do while making team. So in these terms, people would actually feel कि भाई मेरी company है, मैं जितना मेहनत करूँगा उतना ले जाऊँगा, which is a good way to go ahead. Even we did that thing. So that you can do that. Let's jump to the next question. How did you take your idea from SIH from a project level to full scale business model? Okay, as I so we started the journey in 2018. That was just a basic idea phase that we had in our mind. So we participated in Smart India Hackathon, and then over there. A lot of mentors were there from IITs, and they suggested that this idea is good and this can go up. And from there, actually, we tried to pitch this thing in front of many investors, in front of many authorities, and somehow I was lucky enough to get support from Tides Business Incubator. So the initial incubation support which I got from them, that was the initial like a boost thing in my startup journey. And since people get incubated, so that there is always a condition that you will have to form a company and give some percentage of equity, or maybe in the form of grants, which you get support from them. So you will have to give some percent of equity to them. So in our case also it was same. So we had to form a company, and then plan accordingly, plan to get in a market, give milestones to them. So what are your plans for the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years? So you make actually a proper milestones and you submit them. So based on your milestone, you get the further rounds of grants and all those things. So even in our case, like since it was just an idea in 2018, and then accordingly in 2020 when we formed this company, those plans, those financial models, as well as the ideas to take this ahead was ready with us, and those ideas help us to carry this product in a market, or to pitch this product in a market. So maybe once you start this journey, again people, and again the level of questions which you have to tackle, those will teach you how to take this product ahead, or how to take this product in a market. So that will definitely come with the market. But of course, hardware and software are two different parts, and it has to be handled very differently. When it comes to hardware, it is difficult as compared to software, which I believe, because a lot of physical as well as the mental pressure is there in terms of hardware. Software has a similar kind of thing, but still software is comparatively, in terms of finance also, software is comparatively a lightweight model as compared to hardware, which I think. So always approach the right kind of people while taking this, while taking any suggestion also. So let's say if you approach any people who has not started, or who has not done anything about the startup, or who has not worked in the similar space, they won't be able to guide it properly over here. Approach people, and for approaching people, I believe LinkedIn is the best platform which you can probably take help of. So that is the thing which I would like to mention over here. So I hope I have answered your question, Aditya. Apart from this, if you have any question, please feel free to answer. Feel free to ask.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, there are two people who have raised their hand. Could you answer their questions?
Yeah. So next is, how do you choose the location of starting a business? Okay. Okay. So even I had a similar difficulty over here. Uh, when I started my journey, so my base location is Mumbai, and I took the incubation in IIT Roorkee. So we had to actually visit each month to IIT Roorkee to give presentation to them. So even it was a very challenging moment for us also to manage that thing. But what I did like initially for 1 year, I was a team were there at IIT campus only. But then we actually told them that it's very difficult, sir, over here. The We are not able to get the raw material easily, so we will shift again our base to Mumbai. So that's how we plan. And normally, like when you start this journey, maybe software or hardware also, uh, take up your office space or take up your working location very nearby to cities, or nearby to a metro region, so that you can approach, or you can it becomes very convenient for you to travel each time. Let's say if you're building a hardware startup also, while test or while for testing initially, If you need a support of some organizations, then you can probably take the incubation support at IITs and stay over there. Keep one team over there and the other team in the metro region, and then accordingly plan. So plan accordingly. Maybe traveling is one thing which you can look upon. The other thing is look for the business feasibility. The other part is just look where your customers are. If your customers are mostly in rural, stay over there, because you will be able to understand them properly. If they are in the urban, stay here. So that's how you should decide probably. So next question we have is Vedika. How do we ensure before starting anything that an idea can turn into a startup? Okay, as Vedika, as I like started that thing, like every one of us has certain idea. If we take अगर यहाँ पे total 100 people है तो 100 में से 5 people would be a very good idea, which can be converted to startup. But the thing is, like what ideas actually can be marketed well? That's a big question over here. So for that, actually, what we need to do is approach few of the people who are in the similar space. So maybe let's say if you're working on some EV space, you can approach few people who have a past experience working in some EV, or maybe if you are from renewable, or maybe if you are building some SaaS based product. So approach some people who have actually worked in the software domain, or approach some founders, pitch in front of them, उनको बताओ कि सर हमारा ये idea है and this is the idea which we are planning to launch in a market. So what do you think about them? So if you'll take around 50 to 60 interviews, उसमें से around 10 interviews में you will get to know कि ये idea में कितना क्या potential है. So maybe approaching the people from the similar space will help you validate this idea. कि is this a good idea to go ahead, or like should we stop thinking about it? So that's how when we did. So we approached the professors from IITs, or the people who are in the similar space, and then accordingly from the feedback which we had got, we had tried to take this journey ahead. So maybe approaching the right kind of people would be the answer in your case. So next question we have is from Omkar. What stage do you encounter when launching a product on a market? Omkar, could you be like more specific about this question? What stage do you encounter when launching a product on the market? So do you mean to say like what would be the perfect time for launching the product in a market? Omkar is there?
So I mean like competition. There is so many competitors there now in your startup side.
Okay. So basically, it is a competitor analysis you are trying to say. Like, if you are building a product in a similar space, and there are also people who are working in a similar space, so what is the right time for doing that product launch? That's what you're trying to ask me. So, Aditya, in that case, probably what you will have to do. Is probably do a competitor analysis. So let's say if there are two companies who are in a similar space of renewable, so what are the benefits of those company and what different thing which we are doing? So that is the that is the total competitor analysis you will have to do. So let's say if your product is on the higher end, definitely you would have a lot of perks as compared to the other company. And let's say if you are beating the other company in terms of price also, you can probably carry out with your sales properly, and then accordingly once the sales is stable, you can again do R&D on your product and improve the quality of that product. So maybe depending on the situation, or depending on the market, or depending on the client which you cater to, you can change your strategies as per that. So let's say if you're targeting around the premium section of clients, so your product has to be top notch in terms of look, in terms of quality, uh, uh, and let's say if you're targeting maybe the rural section, तो वहाँ पे वो टॉप नॉच और क्वालिटी की बात छोड़कर प्रोबेबली प्राइसिंग पे आ जाएगी बात. तो वहाँ पे आपको प्रोबेबली वो प्राइसिंग को थोड़ा कम करके मार्केट में अकॉर्डिंगली पिच करना पड़ेगा. सो दैट्स हाउ प्रोबेबली टू मेजर डिफरेंस which so depending on the customer uh, you're catering to, you will have to change your strategies over here. But yes, like when it comes to competitor analysis, you will have to do that thing and analyze like what is different, like how कस्टमर के पास जाते हो तो कस्टमर तो डेफिनेटली बोलेगा कि ये प्रोडक्ट हमारे पास और भी कोई कंपनी दे रहा है, बट हाउ डिफरेंट आर यू इन टर्म्स ऑफ कॉस्ट, यू विल हैव टू बी डिफरेंट, और इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्वालिटी, और इन टर्म्स ऑफ सर्विस you will have to be different, and then only you can beat them. Or else if you go ahead with similar product, so sometimes it becomes very difficult. So maybe identifying the USP of your company, which is unique value proposition, that is very important in any case, so that you can do. uh, Ajit Singh, how do you approach prioritization when you have multiple competing deadlines at one. Okay, so that is a very interesting question. So probably it happens a lot of time in this journey, like at one point of time multiple things come in. So probably over there what you will have to do is actually segregate the things which is utmost important and do that thing. And then probably, so let me just take example. So let's say tomorrow, let's say tomorrow you have like we have a funding, you have some funding rounds, and there are multiple vendors, or there are multiple investors who are actually who have actually approached you. uh, so in that case, while approaching those investors, uh, the thing that you will have to keep in mind is कि पैसे तो एक अपनी जगह है, yes of course कंपनी में पैसे आ जाएंगे when investment will come in, but at the same time एक expertise अगर आ जाएगा कंपनी में तो that will help us a lot. So वहाँ पे probably will have to value expertise as well as money. तो पैसे अगर थोड़ा कम भी है, अगर expertise आ रहा है तो that would be more valued over there. As well as Ajit, if you can be more specific, key when it comes to prioritization and deadlines about the topic, I can help you up with answering it more in a better way. So I'll just come back to you, Ajit, once again. So the next question which we have is, sir, is there any government benefit or support from the government for the startup? Did you get any? Yes, of course. Like whatever amount of fund or whatever amount of grants that I have secured is from government only. So Startup India schemes like currently has around 2 CR of funding, initial seed funding for your ideas. So if your company is like below 2 years of formation, you can apply for that thing. You can pitch in front of government, and if they like that idea, they will fund you. Again, as I mentioned, if you have some medical based device, you can actually approach direct grants. So those are 50 lakh grants, which is without any equity or without any charges. You just have to based on your idea, based on your vision, based on your team, you will just get a funding of 50 lakh rupees based on the milestone basis. So you get that funding entire amount in a milestone basis. The other segments of funding which you can approach for is approaching these incubators. So incubators have a lot of fundings from this government authority. So you can tell them, you can go and pitch the idea in front of them. They will initially help you with some amount to carry your idea ahead, well, to validate your idea as well. Maybe incubator can provide that support also in validating that idea. So you can do that thing. So yes, of course, government has helped us, and of course, many startups are getting benefit from the government policies. So definitely, you can try for that. One of the major advantage, I would say, in terms of government and in terms of private investor is such that कि प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टर्स आपके पीछे बहुत ज़्यादा लग जाएंगे कि गिव अस आउटपुट, गिव अस एग्जिट. दैट इज़ वन थिंग विच दे वुड आस्क फॉर. ऑफ कोर्स गवर्नमेंट में थोड़ा कंपैरेटिवली वो चीज़ थोड़ा कम होता है कि वो लोग आपके इतना ज़्यादा पीछे नहीं पड़ते. बट ऑफ कोर्स द प्रेशर इज़ देयर, द प्रेशर ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस इज़ देयर, द प्रेशर ऑफ कंप्लीटिंग माइलस्टोन इज़ देयर. So that is the one benefit. Apart from that, when I say funding, it is two type. The first one is like in the form of equity. You give some equity of your company to the organization, and then they will fund you in the form of grants. So initially you can take help of these grants to take your idea ahead, and then once you grow, you can approach for funding based on the equity. So that you can do. Maybe Shark Tank is also one of the platform, the other platform which has started. So you can go ahead with that also. uh, how to lower the budget without compromising on the product quality? Okay, so over here I would say there are a lot of ways to do that thing. So maybe cutting down your entire SGA cost, which is selling general administrative cost. That is one way. So how you can do that thing? Let me just give you example. So currently, if I let's say if I buy an office space in Bandra, Bandra will cost me around 60,000 per. It's a hypothetical example. So 60,000 per square feet. It's let's say it's a Bandra. If I uh, go for that thing in Vasai, it will just cost me 14,000 per square feet. So that's how we can maintain the balance. But again, when it comes to choosing the Bandra and Vasai, so again traveling to Vasai would be very difficult for me, but traveling to Bandra would be easy for me. But can I say like somehow if I can get settled in Goregaon, which would be a better option in between both of those, which is not on the higher end, which is not on the lower end, but दोनों के बीच में एक at a better rate I'm getting over here. So accordingly, you have to do that thing. When it comes to team also, like many a times, even I have faced that thing. What we do is when we start our journey, we don't have money in our hand. पैसा तो है नहीं हमारे पास. So to compromise on the quality of manpower, what we do is we hire a fresher. और वहाँ पे बहुत बड़ा एक दिक्कत है कि बहुत बड़ा दिक्कत ये है कि freshers don't have knowledge to carry that thing, and we don't have amount to pay to the experienced people. So एक marketing में बहुत बड़ा एक loopholes है which we are facing. So in that case, what you can do is approach few of the people from the similar space based on the freelancing projects that can be done. That is one of the technique which you can apply over here instead of hiring them for a full time. So there are many techniques which you can figure it out, but yes, maybe quality is one thing which I believe is utmost important while pitching any product in the market. So uh, the point should be uh, never compromise on quality. Of course, the other thing can be managed, but of course not the quality. So definitely you can think in that perspective. The other question is, if I think of a startup, so are there any legal or regulatory hurdles I need to be aware? Do I need to protect intellectual property, patents, trademark? Yes, of course. Uh, let's say if you have any idea, and if that idea is good, and if you think that idea can be easily replicated, so it's better way to file a patent, because patent not only secure your idea, but also will help you in the funding rounds. So normally investors, when they fund any idea, they look for a patents. If you अगर आपके पास पेटेंट है तो those ideas or things becomes very easy, or they trust you more, because since it has been patented. So accordingly, if you patent it, definitely you would have a more advantages as compared to the other people who have not done it. Of course, filing a trademarks and copyright is other options which you can do. But yes, if the idea is unique, then definitely it has to be patented, because like incubators also, they support a patented idea. So yes, you can plan for that thing. Next question we have is from Joel sir. According to you, which industry is the best to start a startup? Okay. So which industry is best? So it totally depend on the person. So let's say I am from mechanical domain. So for me, understanding mechanical parts and machines is very interesting. So that's the reason I'm working in that space. So let's say if someone, but it doesn't mean that I'm not interested in software. So my future plan is to be in some software startups, because I have seen the difficulty and the challenges that I have to go through the hardware startup. So definitely we are planning to get in the software space also in the future, because see hardware का दिक्कत ये है ना कि each and every time we will have to start from zero. So let's say अगर आपको प्रोडक्ट बनाना है, आपको सेम साइकिल्स को रेप्लिकेट करना है, आपको जाना है वेंडर से प्रोक्योर करना है, वो प्रोडक्ट को मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करना है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करके पेंट करना है, पेंट करके डिस्पैच करके इंस्टॉलेशन करवाना है. ये साइकिल जो है ना, ये साइकिल को हम एलिमिनेट नहीं कर सकते. जो टाइम वो टाइम लगने ही वाला है. बट ओवरऑल इफ यू गो अहेड विद द सॉफ्टवेयर, रेप्लिकेशन ऑफ दैट थिंग बिकम्स वेरी इजी. सो आपने एक बेस मॉडल बनाया, उसको रेप्लिकेट करना काफी इजी हो जाता है, एंड आप सिंपली एक लैपटॉप लेके पूरे सिस्टम को मॉनिटर कर सकते हो हर जगह बैठकर, विच इज नॉट पॉसिबल इन केस ऑफ हार्डवेयर. सो ऑफ कोर्स, सो अकॉर्डिंगली यू कैन प्लान लाइक हार्डवेयर करना है कि मुझे सॉफ्टवेयर करना है. बट येस, व्हाट टू स्टार्ट, that is totally upon the person. Let's say if you all are from computer, definitely you would have some idea in the computer domain, so you can identify those things, as well as identifying the market gap. So अगर कोई बंदा मैकेनिकल से भी है, अगर वो मार्केट गैप आइडेंटिफाई करता है आईटी में, डेफिनेटली ही कैन डू दैट थिंग in that space also. So identify a market gap and identify your interest, and then accordingly you can start up that journey. Next question we have from Aditya: how do we pitch a business startup? So how do we pitch a business startup, Aditya? So it's a normal template which we have got. So initially, like you need to identify a problem, then what you are proposing, how your solution is different from the existing solution in the market, your customer catering to, how much amount do you think you can earn from this idea, and what benefit will people get from this idea. So those are the basic like filtration. So the way I have carried out my presentation, it was in the form of pitch only. So you can search for a normal pitch deck in the on the Google, and you will get like how to do that thing. So that was question from Aditya. So what are the ways to validate an idea in the early stage of product development? Okay, so the best way which I think Melvin, is probably approach the people from the similar space, or the people who have actually did something, some startup, or the people who are into a business. So you actually approach them, you actually go and meet them, pitch in front of them, and then accordingly they would give some suggestion like this is a viable option for the market, or people need this product. And then accordingly, if you think that accordingly the suggestions which you get from them, try to evaluate those suggestions, try to participate in the mentoring sessions which happens normally, try to pitch that idea in front of them. From the mentors or from the people, the feedback which you receive, those will help you to identify कि ये idea हमें आगे लेके जाना है कि नहीं, as well as what your gut says, that is most important, कि अगर तुम्हें खुद को लगता है, if you think कि ये कुछ आइडिया कर सकता है, then you should start, because self belief is the most important thing in this journey, think uh, which I think will help you to take up this idea ahead. So next question which we have is, how do you do your literature survey to validate your idea properly, and when do you know that research is enough? Even to answer your question, even we did a lot of literature survey. This question is somewhere related to patent also. So when you file patent also, it has to be done literature survey. Like initially, when you have idea, you do a literature survey to just to check whether the market has adopted a similar technique or similar product in the past, which I have somewhere. So you research, you read a lot of papers, maybe you refer to a lot of papers from the authors, and then accordingly you will get ideas कि ये products already market में था पहले कि नहीं था. And then based on the literature survey which you did, you just try to either add some more value to your idea, whatever market has, or you just try to improve the quality of the product. So accordingly what will happen that since you are adding something, you can pitch that thing in a market. But yes, literature survey can be done through many ways, which is referring to a lot of papers, journals, that is one thing, and of course researching about the idea, that are the other things which you can do. The next question we have is, what are the advantage and disadvantage of bootstrapping versus seeking external investment, venture capital, investors? What is each approach? Okay, so that is very interesting question. So probably see, if you will ask me, keeping your startup bootstrap or seeking for an angel investor, which one is better? I would say if you have ability to bootstrap your startup, or else if you have that family में कोई है अच्छा खासा financial condition में who can help you up, so definitely you should do a bootstrap, because bootstrapping a startup has its own advantage, as well as the taking some investors in has its own advantage and disadvantage. So accordingly, you can do that thing. But of course, this deciding like what to do, whether to go ahead with bootstrap or whether to seek some angel investor, will be totally matter of fact when you start this journey. So what will happen when you will start? After some months, you will go under financial crunch. So at that point of time, it will be totally low. कि अब आगे करना क्या है, या तो हम इस कंपनी को बंद कर दें, या तो फिर हम किसी को अप्रोच करके कुछ राउंड्स ऑफ फंडिंग रेस करें, या तो हम अपने पेरेंट्स से कुछ अमाउंट उठाकर और इस जर्नी को कैरी हेड करें. सो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम यू विल एक्चुअली डिसाइड कि मुझे इसको अभी भी बुटस्ट्रैप ही रखना है कि मुझे किसी एक्सटर्नल फंडिंग को रेस करके इस जर्नी को कैरी ऑन करना है. So accordingly, it's a matter of time which will decide कि आपको करना क्या है. But of course, a lot of founders they have a good backup of their family, so they do a bootstrap, which is a good thing, which I also think. But of course, taking angel investor is also one of the advantage, because you grow at a higher pace rate as compared to maybe in the long run you can bootstrap is of course a beneficial, but angel investor has also, like, people who have done angel investment also have grown like anything. So accordingly you can think, but of course that would totally be a matter of time that you can do. So next question, how will you know when you are ready to do a startup? Okay. How will you know? So I probably will have to trust your inner gut, like what so each one of us, we already know कि should we start this journey or we are just doing for the sake. So just ask yourself, if you feel कि I am capable enough to handle all this pressure, and in any situation and any circumstances which will come in front of me, मैं इस जर्नी को इतना जल्दी छोड़ूंगा नहीं. मतलब So if you think that way, so accordingly you can start. Or else if you somewhere not clear कि मैं यार I will drop this idea in 1 year, then probably you should definitely give a thought. You should probably try to seek some mentor advice. And while seeking any advice from the people, it is very important कि आप किसका advice seek करते हो. अगर कोई किसी ऐसे आदमी का आपने एडवाइस सीख किया जिसने कभी जर्नी किया ही नहीं है, तो डेफिनेटली ही विल एडवाइस यू नॉट टू गो अहेड. बट कोई ऐसा आदमी जो कि मे बी स्टार्टअप जर्नी करके भी फेल हुआ है और मे बी वो खुद कर रहा है, तो ही विल डेफिनेटली गाइड यू इन अ बेटर वे. सो अकॉर्डिंगली जस्ट बी वेरी विजिलेंट और बी डिसाइड वेरी वाइजली whom to approach while taking this advice, and accordingly approach those people. So that is one thing. But of course, to answer your question, you know exactly when to start. So ask yourself whenever you feel ki, let's start. Whenever you feel it's the right time to start, you can start. You said you got more of funding from hackathons. Can you name a few? Tell me difficulty level and their scale. Okay. So initially, like winning a hackathon gave us around 1 lakh rupees. Then there was support from the government of. Then there was support from AICT, the organizer, the one of the organizations which organized this hackathon. About 10 lakh rupees, but somehow we couldn't get that funding. But what happened after that was we actually approached Tides Business Incubator, which is IIT Roorkee, and somehow we got support from them. From hackathon, I would say like hardly around 1 lakh rupees we had got to take up this idea. But major of the fundings I had received from DST, which was Department of Science and Technology, and the other funding I had received from the Tides Business Incubator. And recently, like we got seed funded from EIL, which is Engineers India Limited. Engineers India Limited has a very good program. So let's say currently, if you check out a portal of Tides Business Incubator IIT Roorkee, they have tied up with Engineers India Limited. So they have rolled out a platform. If you have some idea, you can actually apply over there. So around 20 lakh funding or 20 lakh grants they are providing for to carry your initial idea, and some 5 lakh grant also they are providing. So you can check the platforms like that. Try to follow Startup India. Startup India में हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ competitions आते रहते हैं. So try to apply for that. If you have some ideas related to manufacturing also, just get in connect with me. आप मुझे LinkedIn पे connect कर सकते हो. I will help you out to connect with few of the people from the hardware space. Apart from this, Startup India is one thing. Also, AICTE का भी बहुत सारे programs आता है, तो maybe you can apply from that also. And rest I'll keep you posted about that thing. But of course, yeah, see, definitely look for Tides Business Incubator. They even Shine IIT Bombay also, they have rolled out some platforms. You can look for that also. Okay, so any other questions anyone has? Hello?
Right. Seems that people don't have other questions.
Oh, okay. So I think we are done with the questions. All right. So I know that there might be many questions running in your mind at personal level. Maybe something related to journey also. Maybe something related to ups and down about this journey. So maybe something related to funding also. You can probably approach me, reach out to me in person over LinkedIn. I will definitely try to help each one out you, each one over here. And also trust your belief. Like this journey is totally different. Uh, this is just like a roller coaster. Kabhi kuch aur, kabhi kuch aur. So it happens like each and every day. When you perform good, you get appreciated for your work. Sometimes it happens that the things become very tough to carry on, and you feel like कि यार ये चल क्या रहा है जिंदगी भाई हम कर क्या रहे हैं, and let's close this journey and again switch to 9 से 5 वाला job पे. So many times it will happen, and when you talk to any of the co-founding members or founding members, they will say the same thing. However, like that passion or that curiosity or that zeal to be success, that matters over here. So just be surrounded by those number of people or the people who just gives you positive vibes, and they will help you to take this journey ahead. So thank you from my end. I think we are done with the question. But do feel free to approach me over LinkedIn for any other questions which you have.
I request everyone to fill the feedback form, please. The link is there in the chat box.
Yeah, sure. So can we just turn on video if possible? Like we can just take one photographs for the session. I hope I've covered most of your points.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, great. So we have done that thing. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, team, and thank you so much, Ashwini ma'am, for this opportunity. I would appreciate like if you can just get in person for any other queries. I would simply not like it's a matter of fact that I'll help you in any manner. But definitely, I would appreciate the people who would just like to pursue this journey.
Yes, sir. On behalf of CSI CRC, I would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to Mr. Avinash Gupta, sir, for gracing us with his inspiring presence and sharing his incredible journey today. We also thank our audience, our teacher in charge Ashwini ma'am, and the organizing team for their contribution to this event's success. Your presence and support has made my story a memorable and enriching experience. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very lovely session. I
Thank you
got
so
to
much.
learn so many things from you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you. Bye. See you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your
Thank you.
guidance.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.